everybody, and welcome back to my channel. For all of you guys who don't know me, hi, I'm Jazzy. I post college-related videos specifically around nursing. Today I thought I would do a really cool video of just how I prepare for my lectures. I did a video showing you guys how I prepare for my labs, so I thought it'd be really cool to now show you how I do it for my lectures, how I stay organized, and how I prepare for them to make sure that I'm getting the most out of my lectures. So before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below any video requests that you guys may have. Also, don't forget to follow me at thejasijournal on Instagram and TikTok. And saying that, let's get into this video. Okay guys, so we're gonna get started. So first things first, I like to make my own notes in lectures because teachers will say things that will be on your test, and I just like to be able to write it down. They also will elaborate what's on the PowerPoint, so I like to print the PowerPoint slides before my lecture. Some teachers do this, some do not. If your teacher does print off the lecture notes, the lecture PowerPoint that you're going to go through in that class, definitely take advantage and print it off. But the way I like to print mine, and I'll show you guys because I already printed mine off for today, is I like to print it off in a notes, like a note form kind of thing. So I have the PowerPoint here on the side, and there's like a little space to start writing on right beside it, and that's how I like to print them out. Do like to get them double-sided, but sometimes I'm out of time and I don't have a double-sided printer, so I have to literally print, stop, flip it over, print again, and sometimes it takes way too long. So, but usually I do like to double-side print. But yeah, this is my favorite way to print my lecture notes, is doing the PowerPoint on the side and then the little note section right beside it. It's honestly organizes everything so well. I also am not the most organized in my lectures notes. Like you could see, a lot of the time it's just chicken scratch because I'm just getting the information down. When I get home, I make proper notes, and I will go through everything again and just make my own little notes based on what I learned. Like you can see, here's like a chicken scratch one, like spare sheet, and then I will go and make my own notes after in my notebook. So that's how I do it for lectures. So if your teacher does provide you with PowerPoints for your lectures, then definitely print them off beforehand. It'll just be really easy to see what you need to be prepared for class, if you want to read up on material beforehand, or just it'll be easier to follow along to get the most out of your lecture. And then to print off my notes the way I do, I'll show you guys how I do it on my MacBook here. So I will go on to my Moodle account, and I will go into that unit, and I'll say lecture PowerPoints or unit whatever PowerPoints or theory PowerPoints, whatever, and that's what we'll be using in our next upcoming lab. So I'll click on those and download it to my computer, and then when I go press print, it'll take me to my print options page, and there is the notes outline option there, and I will click on that. It automatically goes to three PowerPoint slides per page, I guess you could say. So I go and I put 4. I like to have at least 4 of my PowerPoints on one page. I'll just go fix that, send it to the right printer, and print it. And that's how I like to have my notes, and I like how, like I said, just having my little section here on the side to be able to take notes and visually see the PowerPoints on what I'm taking notes on. Next thing that I like to do on my lectures is I have here my little case. This is my iPad case. I've showed this in a lot of my videos already, and I just have literally a whole bunch of highlighters, pencils, whiteout, you name it, in here, ready to go. An extra pen because I've run out of ink before in my lectures. I also have sticky notes in here because in my lectures sometimes I will sticky note something in my PowerPoint slides that the teacher will say is important that we need to know, so I'll color code it with a pink so that I can make sure that I know where to find that material, know what's important. So that's another thing I like to do in my lecture notes, is just color code and be prepared to take notes. And like I said, it's a lot of chicken scratch, so sometimes just having a little sticky note to go back and just mark that page to know that there's some important information on there is awesome, instead of later on you'll come home and you'll be like, what did she say again? But then in this case, you have it already marked off. You know that's the page. Everything on that page or whatever you marked with your sticky note is important. So I do like to have that on there. Okay, the other thing that I love to do on my lectures, just because depending on how far back I sit from the screen, excuse me, I'm still getting over my bronchitis, guys. I'm so sorry. But because of how far, sometimes I don't know how far back I'm going to be sitting from the screen. I have really bad eyesight right now, and I've been like postponing going to get my eyes checked, but I have really bad eyesight right now, so sometimes when I'm not in class at a good time, all the seats in like closer to the front are taken, so I have to sit near the back. And I know most kids are like, I would love to sit in the back. Not me. I try to get in the front just because I can't see very well. So what I like to do is, because I can see what's going on, and I know, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I can see, like, the shadow of what we're doing, but if I had to see all the information on the PowerPoint she has on the screens, I wouldn't be able to see it. So I like to take my iPad in and put the PowerPoint slides on my iPad. So I'll take my iPad in, set it up on my desk, and while she's scrolling up there, I'm also scrolling on here so that I can make sure that I'm actually can see the full PowerPoint and I'm not missing anything. So I do like to take my iPad with me into my lectures. Hey, some people like to, I know some of my friends take their MacBook into lectures. Personally, me, I am a good typer, but I just find that I retain more information when I'm writing notes down, so that's why I print it out. But a lot of my friends, I have one friend that just uses her iPad, I have one friend that takes her laptop in and she types out, so it's completely up to you. But yeah, for me, I do like just printing it out. I find that I retain the most information when I'm actually writing it with my hand. I said this in another video, but it's almost like my hand is the scanner and printer. Like, it'll scan information and then print it off, so it just helps me remember. But that is another thing I like to take into my lectures is my iPad. You could definitely take your laptop in and print notes as well, whatever helps you, but personally, just because of my bad eyesight, the lecture halls are pretty big. So depending how far back I sit, I won't be able to see the screen, so I always have this on hand. So another thing I take into my labs are these little notebooks. I still have the price tag on the back. Give me one sec. I mean, it's not like I'm hiding the price. They were like $2. But still, how tacky. So, I like to take these little notebooks into my lectures. This one is a brand new one. It has a cute little saying on the front, I am not always right, but I am never wrong, which I love, because I like to think that I am never wrong, but I know very well that I can be wrong. But anyway, so this little book here, I like to take it into my lectures because sometimes I will write down like a fun fact. Sometimes nurses or instructors will write down, like, say something like a fun fact that doesn't have to go with what you're learning, and it just applies to everything in general. Like, so I'll put it in these books. I do have one already in my bag ready to go, but I just thought I'd show you a brand new one. So I do like to have these books just for pretty much chicken scratch. It's just filled with a whole bunch of different information that sometimes I'll remember something, I'm like, oh right, it was in this book, so I'll go and I'll flip through. I go and I put little sticky notes on them as well. I just think it's a good way to sometimes have extra information in these little books. It's just a good way to just jot them down so that you're not forgetting. Okay, so I am the student that the one that always has like the big backpack, because I'm the kind of person that I will pay to get a locker at the college because I rather have all my stuff there, even if I don't think I need it. Just because if I do need it, I don't have to worry that it's not at the school. I can just go grab it from a locker. So I do have a big bag always ready to go, just because I'm just super over prepared all the time. Here in this little filing system cabinet thingy. So this I bought from the dollar store. And this is a good way to organize your lectures as well. So what I do is, I love this one, I mentioned this in other videos too, that it literally will just prop up on your desk and just stand there. So that when you're in your lectures, you literally have your own little filing system. It's awesome. So in here, I just have extra little notes and things that we go through that I like to have. That sometimes, you know what, it might not even come up in lab, but if we do go through it, I at least have it here and I can make notes. For example, like we had this one, documentation, like to document, and I brought an extra sheet in and I took notes on it, and now I have an example, right? So I do like to have like extra forms or whatever in here just in case. I also printed off these beautiful little anatomy sheets from beautifulnursing.com. She makes these beautiful little handouts, and I also made some notes on these. So I have these sheets actually hanging out in here, some empty ones, just so that if I have to do any sort of anatomy or physiology notes, they are in there. Yeah, and then just other notes that in case we do have to go through it or she mentions it, I can write it down on that sheet to have it as a reference and completely understand what she's talking about. So I love this because this can help organize your lectures as well. So yeah, I would totally recommend getting a little filing system. This is everything for lab and lecture because this semester I have this class that I'm taking right now that I have a lecture for today is a lab and a lecture. So it's just a good way to organize everything and making sure, again, I'm getting the most out of my lectures and just making sure I'm prepared. Lastly, to prepare for my labs, I'm not sure if your colleges do this, mine does. Before the semester, they will print out our syllabus and the dates of our classes and labs, letting us know what we'll be going through. So I printed those off and keep them at the front of my binder so I know what to expect when I go in. So today, on my lecture today, I am going through a complete bedside assessment today. So they will be doing a lecture on a complete bedside assessment. So I made sure to read up. It tells you the topics in the textbook, what unit it is. So I went through all of this before my lecture today, so I kind of already have an idea. Then I go to the lecture, take the notes that I need to. So it just helps you prepare for your lecture beforehand, so you kind of get an idea of the topics you will be talking about. So I do love that option. Like for my labs here, it'll tell me what each lab we're doing that day, what to bring. On the side here, it tells us what we need to bring to that lab, like make sure we have it with us. Like one lab, we had to make sure we had our pen light. Another one, we had to make sure we wore tank tops underneath. Like, it's just really nice and organized, and I love that my college does this. So if your college does get you a syllabus before you start, definitely print it off because it's awesome to kind of know already what you're doing before getting into that setting. Really definitely helps clear up nerves. I love it when I go into a lab or a lecture prepared and already knowing some of the material or like the gist of the material instead of going in there completely frightened and being called on and not knowing what to say. So that's always a good option too. So if your college does do that, definitely go through that syllabus and just prepare for your lecture beforehand. It will help for sure. And of course, I love to go to my lab, taking my little coffee, and I don't know if your labs allow snacks, mine don't, but they allow us to have drinks, so I always make sure that I stop for Timmy's before my lab, take some water in there, because we are in there sometimes for 3 hours. Yes, we have 3-hour labs sometimes, so I'm just making sure that I'm prepared in that way as well. That is everything I do to prepare for my lab. I hope that this helped you guys a little bit, get some ideas on how to prepare for your lectures, especially if you're new into your nursing program and just starting your lectures. Now you kind of have an idea on what to expect. Use as many resources as you possibly can. If your teacher is letting you print off PowerPoints before going into your lecture, take a look at them before you go in. If they are printing you off a syllabus, definitely take advantage and print off that syllabus, get familiar with what you're going to be doing during that lecture or lab. So just use your resources for sure to get the most out of your lectures. Don't be afraid to look really stupid in your lectures. I'm the kind of person on my lecture that I have an iPad on my left, my notes in the middle, my filing cabinet on the right, my drink in the front. Like, I make myself at home during my lectures, so don't be afraid to make yourself at home. It is your learning in the end. My friends will giggle all the time at me, but you know what? It's working for me, so I'm not changing a thing. I hope that this has helped you get organized, get some ideas on what to do, and I wish you guys the best of luck in your lectures. I hope this video helped you guys, and yeah, if you guys have any further questions, don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it liked or if it helped you. Don't forget to follow me at The Jazzy Journal on Instagram and TikTok, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!